Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brittany of BrittanyJJones.com. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I hope that you will like what you see and subscribe below for more. If you are returning, hi friend, it is so good to be back. I've been away for a while, but we're back now, and today we're going to be sewing. Today we're going to be sewing a quick and easy wrap skirt. That's kind of my mood right now as far as easy pieces to just throw on. A wrap skirt, you can style that up and down. I really am loving maxi dresses as well. Always loving jeans. But I really wanted to just start off with something quick and easy. And so we're going to be sewing McCalls 8259. I'm going to be following along with view D on this pattern, but you can feel free to make any view that you like. As far as fabrics go, they recommend crepes, lawn, cotton blends, lightweight satins. I actually used a 100% rayon. It's nice, lightweight, and drapey. It was perfect for this wrap skirt. As far as sizing goes, I cut the extra large, which gives me a 54.5-inch width around the hips. So go ahead and select your fabric and also pick your size. If you have any questions as far as measurements go, which size to cut, I do have a Learn to Understand commercial pattern series down below. It's 4 videos. They're right here on YouTube. You can click below and you can get a better understanding of sewing with patterns and also which measurements you should be cutting and selecting when cutting out your patterns. Once you have everything cut out and ready to go, let's get started with step 1. We're actually going to start at step 11, and at step 11 we're going to go ahead and work on our darts on the back of our pattern pieces. So you can see here that I've gone ahead and I've transferred my dark legs to the point. I'm just going to start pinning through each leg to pin out my dart. I'm going to do that for both sides of the back 2 pieces. Once you have your dart pinned in place, we'll go to the sewing machine. Your back stitch at the beginning, the widest part of the dart, and then at the end you're just going to tie it in a knot. Let's do that now. Once you have your dart sewn, it should look like this, and now we're going to go ahead and give it a press. You want to press your darts so that they are going toward the center back seam. Once you have one side pressed, go ahead and press the other the same way, and now we're going to go ahead and sew our center back seam together. For the center back seam, you can see I've gone ahead and used my serger just to finish off my edges. I didn't trim away any seam allowance, I just finished everything off. You can do that before or after you sew your seam. The choice is yours. I like to do mine before. So with right sides facing, I'm just going to lay my center back seam pieces together. I'm going to pin it in place all the way up the seam. Now that I have my center back seam pinned together, I'm going to stitch at a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, starting at the hem and working my way up to the top. Once you have your center seam sewn, you want to go ahead and press your seam open flat. I've done mine already. And now I'm just going to finish off my side seams the same way that I did for the back. So go ahead and finish off yours. Again, the choice is yours. You can do it before or you can do it after you've sewn your seam. Here's mine here, so I'm just going to lay it right sides facing. Again, this is the side seams, so I'm laying them together, pinning at my notches. I'm just going to pin the same way I did for the center back seam. You can go ahead and do that for both sides, and once you have it pinned, then you could take it to the sewing machine and sew it, stitching at a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance from the bottom. Start at the bottom, back stitch, and work your way up to the top of the skirt. Now that we have our side seams sewn, let's go ahead and press those open flat. If you did sew yours or finish off your seams together, then you can just press your seam toward the back of the skirt. So instead of pressing yours flat, maybe you just have both of your seam allowances serged together, just press them toward the back of your skirt. The next step, we need to create a narrow hem along the front opening edges of the skirt. It's going to be a 5/8 of an inch narrow hem. For me, I'm just going to do a stitching line right along our 5/8 of an inch seam line. I'm just going to stitch straight down, and then I'm going to press along that 5/8 of an inch line as a guide, and then I will fold in the raw edge to create a really nice narrow hem. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch my line now. Now that I have sewn up right along my seam line at 5/8 of an inch, I'm just pressing that under. I'm essentially just using that as a guide. You do not have to do that. It's totally optional. If you have a seam gauge or a ruler, you can just press under 5/8 of an inch and then open that out, fold in the raw edge, and press that to create your narrow hem. I've just started doing this recently, and I find that it gives me a really nice and narrow hem. So that's why I'm doing it. As something, again, that I've just started to do, and I really like the outcome of it. So after I have pressed up along the 5/8 of an inch seam line, I'm just folding in the raw edge, and I'm just going to fold that over. Again, we're just creating a narrow hem. There are many ways to do it. Do whichever way you like best. Once you are done pressing your narrow hem into place on both of the front opening edges of the skirt, you can go ahead and stitch them in place, and you're going to be stitching close to that inner fold. So let's go ahead and do that now, again, once you're done pressing yours in place. Here's a quick look at my narrow hem along the front opening edges. So go ahead and again stitch yours in place the same way, and once you are done, you want to go ahead and give it a final press. And now we can go ahead and start working on our waistband. For our waistband, you want to go ahead and fuse interfacing to your pieces. I've already fused mine. And now we're going to be taking piece number 3 and 4, which is our front and back waistbands, and I'm pinning them together at the side. Make sure that you match up your notches and pin both sides in place. Once you have them pinned, go ahead and stitch at a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, I have my waistband pieces pinned. I've also pressed the seam open, and as you can see, I've done another 5/8 of an inch stitch, and I did it along the unnotched edge. Again, I just like that stitch now along the seam line, so you can go ahead and do that, or you can just press up 5/8 of an inch on the unnotched edges of the waistband and just press that in place like I'm doing here. So again, go ahead and stitch your waistbands, press the seams open, and fold up along a 5/8 of an inch seam line. Once you have that folded up, press that in place. Once you have pressed up your 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, go ahead and trim it down to 3/8 of an inch. Now that we have trimmed it down to 3/8 of an inch, now we can go ahead and pin it onto our skirt. So go ahead and grab your skirt. We're going to match up our notches and pin our waistband in place. So again, make sure that you start pinning at your notches as well as your side seams. You also want to match up your small dots that are right along the waistband. They match up with the front opening edges. So again, match everything up and pin your waistband to your skirt now. Once you're done pinning your waistband, you should have about 5/8 of an inch that extends past the front opening edge. Let's sew it now. Once you have your waistband sewn onto your skirt, you want to go ahead and press your seam up toward the waistband, and then you're going to grab your tie ends and we're going to start sewing those. You want to fold your tie ends with right sides facing, and you're going to stitch down the long side as well as the short side that does not have the dots. Go ahead and do that for both of your tie ends now. Once you have sewn your tie ends together, you want to go ahead and trim down your seam allowance like I'm doing here. So go ahead and trim down for both of your tie ends. Once you have your tie ends sewn, you want to go ahead and flip them out right sides facing and give them a good press. And then you want to match them up with your waistband seam and the fold line. So I have mine with the raw edges together, and I'm just lining everything up right here, including the small dots. So go ahead and again, get your tie-in and make sure that you're placing them on the right side. There's a right tie-in and a left tie-in. So make sure that you're placing them on the right side. You want to match it up right along the fold line and the waist seam line, have the raw edges facing, pin everything in place, and then we're just going to tack the tie down. Once you have the tie-ins tacked in place, then you want to fold the waistband along the fold line with the right sides together. So you should fold it over like I've done so, pin it in place, and now we're going to stitch it again the same exact way that we just did before with tacking it down. You want to again fold your waistband over along the fold line, making sure that raw edges are together and the right sides are facing. Go ahead and pin that in place and then stitch it in place. Once you have it sewn, go ahead and trim off some of the excess fabric there along the tie-ins where the waistband will reach its sewn. Once you have it trimmed, flip everything right side out, and it should have a nice clean tie and waistband opening right there. It should look really nice. So go ahead and do that for the other side. Trim it and flip everything right side out. And now we can move on to closing our waistband. To close up the waistband, I'm going to begin pinning it in place. So I folded over the inside of my waistband, that pressed edge that we already have. I folded that over the seam, and I'm just putting pins right into the seam, and I'm double checking to make sure that it is catching the inside fold of the waistband so that everything will be nice and clean. So go ahead and do that. You can put your pins along the outside, and you have the choice to stitch in the ditch, or you can stitch it in place by hand. I am going to stitch mine in the ditch. So again, just make sure that you pin it along the outside so that you can stitch right in that seam. All right, once you have your waistband sewn in place, it should look similar to this. So this is mine right here. This is how the inside look. I was able to catch it with my stitch, and that's just from pinning in place. So again, you can stitch yours in the ditch, or you could sew it by hand. The choice is yours. So go ahead and close up your waistband, and then we can move on to the next step. The next step is for us to create a buttonhole right at our marking. That's for the tie-in to go through, and it's right along the waistband. So go ahead and transfer your marking. If you did not do that, put on your buttonhole foot and go ahead and make a buttonhole now. Once you have made your buttonhole, I'm going to be using a little bit of fray check that I have here. And I've just put that right along my buttonhole, right in the center where I'm going to open it up at. That's going to help reduce all of the excess fabric and the fraying that happens when you open it up. So I've just, again, added just a little bit there on the seam, and I'm going to let that dry. The last step for us to do is the hem of our skirt. Now, because our skirt is a circular skirt, some parts of it is cut on the bias. I'm actually going to let my skirt hang overnight for a good 24 hours just to let everything drop. That's always best whenever you're working or have some bias seams. You want everything to just drop and fall, and then you can remeasure your hem line, trim anything away, and then go ahead and create your hem. So again, this is the next day. I'm going to go ahead and press up my 5/8 of an inch narrow hem along my skirt, and I'm going to stitch it in place, and then I'll be all done. Okay, I've gone ahead and sewn my hem in place. I'm going to give it one final press. So again, go ahead and make your narrow hem on the bottom of your skirt. And don't forget to open up your buttonhole. I'm using this little buttonhole opening little kit that I purchased on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description box if you are interested. And this is what my buttonhole looks like. No fraying after I use the fray check. Go ahead and tie your tie-ins, and you are all done with your skirt. Well, that is all for the video, and I really do hope that you all enjoyed it and that you love your skirt. I love mine. I've been wearing it nonstop since I finished making it. If you have any questions, leave them down for me below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications to the channel. I really am excited to be back. I do want to say thank you to you all that have stayed subscribers and the people who have just joined. Thank you so much, and welcome to the channel. I'm excited to upload more videos and for us to continue growing. Until next time, blessings everyone. Bye.